Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Governor's Commission on Supplier Diversity. This is our second quarter meeting. I would like to call this meeting to order. My name is Brandon Clifton, Commissioner of the Indiana Department of Administration, and we will go around the room after you, Commissioner.
Thank you. I'm Libby Crawford. I am the Director of Business Opportunity Initiatives at NDOT.
Hi, I'm Carol Slager, and I'm from the Northern Region, Northwest Indiana.
Maurice Coates from the Southern Region of Indiana.
Darren Patterson, Commissioner for Southern Indiana.
Angela Franklin, Commissioner, Central.
Joanna King, State Rep, District 49, Elkhart County.
Go ahead, Keisha. Say hello.
Hi, everyone. Keisha Rich, Deputy Commissioner for the Division of Supplier Diversity.
We do not have a quorum today, so we will not be voting on any items with us. And forgive me, I forgot our commissioners on the phone. Could we have Commissioner Vega Steele?
Austin, so you may want to bring the microphone.
Commissioner, this is Brandon. We needed to move the microphone closer to the speaker. Could you go ahead and repeat yourself?
Yes, my name is Frances Vega, and I'm Commissioner representing Northern Indiana.
Thank you, Commissioner. And who else do we have on the phone?
Commissioner Lyon.
Commissioner Lon, after you.
He may not have joined just yet.
Commissioner, if you're speaking, you're on mute. We do believe Commissioner Lund is with us today, but may be having problems speaking to us by phone. At this point in time, like I said, we do not have a quorum. I would like to have Jose Evans come to the podium, if you would. As this body is familiar, the Governor's Commission is often chaired by the Civil Rights Commission Executive Director. However, Mr. Evans' appointment has not been completed yet, but wanted to give him an opportunity to make some opening remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jose Evans. I am the new Executive Director for the Indiana Civil Rights Commission. I've been with the Commission now for about 11 weeks now, so still kind of getting my feet wet, but I'm very familiar with the Governor's Commission on Supplier Diversity. As a former MBE, WBE Director for the City of Indianapolis, done a lot of work throughout the city and throughout the state. So definitely this is a mission that I feel very honored to be able to move forward, and I'm just looking forward to being an asset to this board. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Evans.
A couple of remarks from me, if this commission will bear with me. Boy, it seems like 6 months since we last met, and it's only been just a couple. IDOA has had a successful legislative session. Key to us was Senate Bill 5. Might have spoken a bit about this during our last meeting. Senate Bill 5 was a Senate priority bill regarding contracting and fiscal accountability. What that means for IDOA is we will be standing up what we're calling category management. Category management will begin to unlock some new savings for the state. And by that, what I mean is assigning various contracts, and all contracts in the state for that matter, into certain categories, namely information technology. That's going to be the key one. We have identified a couple of different partners that we're looking to work with, and their work will be key in leading our thoughts and our policy development as we go forward and identify these savings. So, for example, we know we have agencies that have a or multiple contracts with a particular vendor. That vendor probably is giving different pricing to that agency among their different contracts within that office. They're certainly also likely offering different pricing for very similar services across agencies. And so we need some tools and we need some technology to stand on top of the data set that contains all of our contracts and all of our spend in the state. And when we identify those opportunities of different pricing among different offices or agencies, we'll be afforded some negotiating power and be able to go back to those vendors to argue for better pricing or lowest pricing, and preferably national best pricing among those vendors. We think that the potential savings here is in the hundreds of millions, and that's exactly what is we're looking for in this next biennium. We're looking for opportunities to save. We're looking for opportunities to manage our contracts more effectively, and to hold them accountable for their success or lack thereof. In cases of success, we'd like to see a preferred vendor or bidder program that's managed by KPIs, where during the performance of a contract, a contractor is evaluated accordingly, and those that excel at their performance, welcome, Representative. It's good to have you. Oh, fantastic. My day's getting even better. The representative's right next to me. Welcome. It's good to see you. Representative was just talking about our successful legislative session. We have much to thank you for, and we'll ask for some comments from you here in a moment, if you wouldn't mind, on your view of the legislative session. But Senate Bill 5 is going to be key for us. It's probably the most significant piece of legislation we've seen since Governor Mitch Daniels was elected in 2004 and his first legislative session in 2005. 2026 will be active for us as well, as we look to partner with the representative and his partners on the third floor to modernize and to strengthen our statutes, like I said, that haven't been touched in 20 years. Let's see here. We are actively monitoring and partnership with our friends from NDOT with regard to some of the decisions coming out of the United States Department of Transportation and the Disadvantaged Business Program, and how that will or may impact and certainly inform policy here in Indiana with regard to minority and women business development. My next step is to brief the governor here in the coming weeks on some of these changes in the federal landscape and those opportunities or implications here at the state level. And Representative, any comments?
Not at this time.
It's great having you here today. Let us go to, we can't adopt our minutes. And so we have small business elevator pitches?
Yes.
Yes? After you.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Clifton. Hi again, everyone. So for those of you who are not aware, the Division of Supplier Diversity has teamed up with the Commission to allow our business owners, certified business owners, to do an elevator pitch every Commission meeting. These business owners get 4 minutes to pitch their business. Some commissioners, you have some of their materials there at your where you're seated. And the first one, you do have her capability statement as well as a portfolio that she gifted to you all. Her name is Tammy Carr, and she is a certified WBE, and her business is Talent Source. Tammy?
And Keisha, are the materials for our small business presentations, are those in the purple folder or are those in the handouts here on the table?
A great question. So they are the handouts that were there on the table. Hers is the first one in red and white.
Thank you.
All right.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, and happy Monday. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'd like to start with a quote by a former CEO of Honeywell, a company founded out of the state of Indiana. I am convinced that nothing we do is more important than hiring and developing people. At the end of the day, you bet on people, not strategies. My name is Tammy Carr with Talent Source. We are based out of the South Bend area and place professionals throughout the state as well as the country. We are recruiting experts in the professional and technical space, including IT, accounting and finance, HR, engineering, and more. We can assist with contract to hire, and direct hire placement needs in positions ranging from the administrative level on up to the C-suite. Some of our clients include the city of South Bend. They rely on us to help them fill critical accounting and financial positions. A newer client in the RV manufacturing industry is counting on us to build their technical team to implement a new ERP system. We also work with First Source Bank and help them fill very niche and industry-specific roles. Our largest client manufactures brass instruments, and we have an exclusive arrangement with them where they count on us 100% to help them fill all of their professional and technical roles. We also work with Michael Morrison of Vincennes, that's here in the room, and have helped him place several faculty staff members on his team, and would love to work with other state universities here in the room today, plus other government and state contract opportunities, of course. So what makes us unique in a very competitive industry? I may be a little biased, but I believe that we have the best team out there. I believe if you take good care of your people, they will take good care of your clients. We have a family-first culture where I care about them as people first and employees second, and we offer great work-life balance. We have a strong sense of urgency. With each new search, we have the job posted and begin sourcing within hours of receiving each position. We are tenacious and diligent. All of our jobs are hard to fill. So our philosophy is to not leave any stone unturned. We ensure that quality is intact and consistent and backed by our standard operating procedures. We recognize the importance of technology and have partnered with an industry leader called Bullhorn and also utilize the latest on artificial intelligence. We recognize the importance of culture fit as well, and we send candidates to our clients that not only meet their requirements, but also are a good culture fit within their environment. Overall, we strive for long-term partnerships and believe that all relationships and kindness matter. We are fortunate in that in our 16 years in business, we have many loyal clients that have worked with us the entire time, which speaks to our superior level of customer service. Simply put, our passion is people. We believe we change people's lives one placement at a time and help our clients sleep better at night by making sure they have the right people in the right seats at the right time to move their organization forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy.
Sure.
A couple questions. I'll probably ask this of each of our presenters. You know, when we last convened in February, I think it was it Keisha? Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. It seemed like the economic world and our realities was completely different than what it is today with tariff speculation. So could you talk to us about some of the experiences you and your company have felt over these last couple months since our leaders at the federal level began working on tariff policy, if any variables at all?
Right. We are very fortunate in that it has not affected us yet, and I hope it doesn't. I shouldn't say yet. So I really can't speak to that directly.
Other questions?
Commissioner Coates, are you just confined to the northern area of the state of Indiana?
No, we place professionals throughout the state as well as throughout the country, and have placed someone in Canada as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Yes. Where do you recruit from?
What sources do we utilize?
I mean, like to get your employees to place in different places. Where do you recruit from?
Well, again, we use the latest technology in our industry called Bullhorn, which pushes the job out there multiple places. There's very popular sources today, including Indeed and LinkedIn. But most of the positions we fill are candidates that we've sourced. We've gone out there and approached them. Most times our client has the job posted and we want to complement their efforts. So most of the people we place, we have found by networking, referrals, and going out there and reaching out to candidates that may not be actively looking. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Matt Bauer. There are no materials at your seats for this particular company just yet. I believe they did bring some with them. Matt Bauer is pitching on behalf of the CEO, Certified MBE WBE, Letitia Snowdy. Matt is with MSIL Staffing and Packaging.
710 East 64. Where is that?
That's in Broad.
Yeah, I know. I live in Broderville. I'm trying
Okay.
to imagine exactly where it is.
Yeah, if you take College Avenue up to, there's an oil change place and a gas station. I think it's a Speedway station on College Avenue. You turn left on 64th Street. So it's just past, it's like the street down from Broderville Avenue. The next one heading north.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. The
Okay, yeah,
microphone's yours.
thank you. I appreciate this. My name is Matt Bauer. I'm the COO of the MSIL Group. The MSIL Group is a full-service labor recruitment and workforce solutions company. We were founded in 2001. Our majority owner is Letitia Snoddy. We have a minority owner that helped found the company at that time. His name is Elias Serrano. Neither, unfortunately, could be here today, so I'm filling in to speak for them to present the company. We hold both the minority business enterprise and the woman business enterprise. We are Indianapolis-based. We have 4 office locations around the Indy metro area, and we're also conducting business in the states of Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. So the segments and industries that we primarily deal in would be the manufacturing industry, warehousing, packaging, distribution, fulfillment, and education. We have 3 companies or 3 DBAs under the MSIL Group. The first being MSIL Staffing and Packaging, the second Pro Talent Group, and the third Certified Inspection Services. So MSIL Staffing and Packaging is a light industrial labor solutions company. We place temporary workers on assignment at customer locations, temp to hire positions, seasonal hire positions, and then we also place direct hire positions within those customer locations. And then we do something a little different where we do piece rate work as well within the facilities. Part of our workforce solution process includes, but is not limited to, the following. We have a pretty stringent recruiting process. So as candidates come to us, we have an interviewing and screening process. A lot of times that process is based off what the customer's needs are. So we'll develop our screening and orientation specific to that customer. We have a full service, fully functioning payroll team where we do all the withholdings, submit all of the information to the state or to the federal government. We also have our own workers' comp program. We manage the workers' comp program. We're part of a captive, so we have very competitive rates. We manage the HR compliance, and then in most cases, we also have on-site management out of the locations that we service. Our second company is Pro Talent Group. Pro Talent Group primarily deals with white-collar, direct hire positions, such as human resources, accounting, facility leaders, management positions, and most recently, maintenance technicians, which seem to be in very high demand right now. Maintenance technicians in the industry, there seems to be a gap in skilled labor.
1 minute.
1 minute? Oh, boy. And then we also signed a partner relationship with a company called STEM. So one of the things that we've also noticed with the growth mode, our focus needs to be on science, technology, engineering, and math, and recruiting positions related to that to help with the growth within companies. And then the final that we work on under the Pro Talent Group is early childhood development and education, where we'll place preschool teachers, primary educators, assistants, and such as that. Our last company is Certified Inspection Services. Certified Inspection Services does quality inspection work in the automotive industry. We are ISO 9001:2015 certified, so we're held to a higher quality standard. Some of the services that we provide would be sorting within the customer's facility for non-conforming product, rework for non-conforming product, inspection work, which would include both visual and gauging inspection, and then containment work, whether it would be on-site or off-site. And then just to wrap things up, the differentiators, I think, in our market that really separate us from our competitors, number one would be our agility. We're a relatively flat organization, so we can pivot very quickly to our customers' needs. There's not a lot of red tape involved. When someone needs something, we can get the resources to them. And then, as in the prior presentation, we have a technology-based recruiting software and applicant tracking system, which is kind of a game changer for us in being able to recruit, screen, and place candidates, the right candidates out at the jobs. So thank you so much for your time. Questions?
Thank you, Matt, for being here. I'm interested specifically when you talk about skilled labor. Can you talk a little bit more about that? One of the things we continue to do in the legislature is make sure that students, when they graduate from high school, have a great path forward, whether it's college or the military, or maybe into a program that will help them skill up to be ready to get into the workforce. What other kinds of areas besides maintenance, what are some of the other areas that you are specifically seeing you need to have backfilled with employees and skills?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of interesting. I'm living it both on a personal level at home as well as a business level. So I have a daughter who's 22 years old that decided she wanted to try the college route, and it wasn't for her. But she had a passion for animals, for pets. So I helped her establish and build a dog grooming business. And then her fiance happens to be an apprentice in an apprenticeship program for electrician. So he's going through a journeyman program, and we talk all the time. I mean, both of these careers, I know we wanted to steer kids towards college, but in the process of doing that, we kind of created this big gap in the skills. And things that we see are maintenance technicians out in the manufacturing facilities needing welding, needing the understanding of electrical and how that works. They're looking for journeyman type people, and very rarely are those people available now. And then we're also seeing it in the HVAC, plumbing as well. So there's definitely a shortage. Some of the technical schools have been a big help for us. We've reached out to many of the technical schools for assistance. But yeah, absolutely. Kids nowadays could leave high school and have little to no debt joining in on one of these programs and still make just as much money as someone with a college degree. Some of the jobs that we place for upwards of $40 per hour.
Thank you.
Matt, do you have a training program that you guys do?
Specific for our workforce prior to placement?
Yes.
Yes, so most of it is customer driven. Some customers are going to require, like for instance, we're in the process of developing a forklift operator training program right now, because we've noticed that as warehouses and manufacturing become more and more automated, they need less people to actually pick the product, but they do need forklift operators and drivers. So one of the things that we're investing in as a company is a forklift training program. So it's kind of a train the trainer program where we actually have warehouse space set aside, We can conduct classes on a weekly basis, certify the people, and then get them out at the higher paying jobs.
And one last question. What does minority women business, what does that mean to your company as far as hiring and placing minority women business?
Yeah, I would say 60% of our current workforce, and I haven't ran the EEO data probably in the last few months, but I would say 60% of our workforce is African-American workforce, and of that, 50% would be female, 50% would be male, and then we have, especially over the last 4 years, we've seen a lot of like Haitian Creole, and then we've seen also a lot from the Burmese sector.
Okay.
So it's a very diverse workforce out there currently.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. After you, Commissioner.
Yeah, just a quick question. This may catch you sideways, but are you speaking to high school kids and whatever to try to get them lead toward the skilled trades? I'll be honest with you, because the one thing that college is great, but it's not for everyone. And 95% of the people in the workforce are working people using their hands, but they also use their minds. That's where we get into the skill part of it. We have a great demand for skilled labor. I'm looking right now for 30 iron workers. Glass and glazing. Are you looking into getting kids starting to look at those type of things earlier? I think that people wait too long to go to college to start speaking to people about going to college in the junior, senior year. It's too late. You need to speak to them. A company like yours, if you could address that, could probably lead in and have a better force coming towards you.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Are we a part of it? Yes. Are we deep enough into it? No. I agree with you. I think maybe we need to develop our program to try to hit them maybe at that freshman, sophomore time frame and give them real life examples. I mean, my Lord, I look at some of these people who are doing plumbing, and I mean, if you started your own plumbing business, you could retire a wealthy person. There's just so much opportunity, and for the longest time, we just pushed education, education, education. And I nothing against the universities, but I think some of the degree programs miss the mark on what we actually have open out on the workforce. But I would like to see more and more on the skills side. It would benefit us as a recruiting agency as well. And that would be the same on the early childhood development as well for kids that are going in to be education majors. You know, we have plenty of opportunities.
I'm glad you see that. You're looking at that. That's good. Thank you.
I know exactly where you're at. I will be on my scooter in a t-shirt and shorts and flip-flops. I'll be scooting around there maybe on Wednesday or Thursday. There's that really bad that traffic bump right there over by the Jiffy Lube, right? I know. I'll stop by this week and say
yeah, absolutely. We're, doors may be locked, but you can ring the doorbell.
Ring the door. Okay,
Yeah,
understood.
yeah, ring the doorbell.
Well, I won't look the same, so if I understand.
And
if
I
you
would
don't,
also like to introduce Paolo Cabidez and Alexis Mitchell. They're both with our company. Paolo's in marketing, Alexis is in business development.
welcome. One more question.
Sure.
Just a quick note. I'm impressed with your marketing materials. Whoever put that together did an excellent job.
Paolo.
Could you share with me the company that produced it, or is that something that you've done internally?
Yeah, we have different vendors that we partner with, usually locally, print those out and have them in hand just for our sales department to share with prospects or active customers and things like that. We use it also for job fairs, or when we go and reach out to different audiences, and yeah, so we use.
But to answer your question, she does all of the artwork.
I'll connect with her later on on this.
Yeah.
It's well done. Well done. Thank you.
All right. Thank you again.
No, thank you.
Paolo Cabidez.
Thank you so much, Matt. Commissioners, next up, we have Nicole Johnson, certified MBE WBE with Rose of Sharon All Naturals. Her material, her capability statement is at your seat. It's in purple. I would like to also note this vendor does have samples as well that we'll be passing around. And she was featured on Fox 59, Where is Sherman, just a couple weeks ago.
Good afternoon, everyone. Suffering in silence. Many of us consciously and unconsciously relate to this phrase. Well, for me, it chimes in the back of my head often when it comes to my health. Good afternoon. Again, my name is Nicole L. Johnson, and I am the founder and owner of Rose of Sharon All Naturals, DBA R102 Wellness, where every mineral counts. Rose of Sharon All Natural was founded during the height of the pandemic through something that I needed for myself. Today, we've been in business for 5 years. We have been active in the community and promoting wellness and our products that most of us affectionately know us for sea moss and functional mushrooms. Today, we have refocused, rebranded, and we have become a better, well-known wellness company. We're not just known for sea moss or just the functional mushrooms, but we're also known for impacting education and our products. We are currently selling B2B and B2C. We have our own brick and mortar, and we also sell at affectionately known as Georgetown Market and have been partners with them for the last 3 years where we sell out our products. Currently, if everybody hasn't noticed that the epidemic has made everybody focus on their health and wellness. The industry has soared in wellness. It's going to be a 9.1% increase between the years of 2024 and 2030. Now you ask about sea moss. Sea moss has been around for a very long time. It's not new, it's new to us. Its growing potential is at 3.5 billion by 2030, as well as functional mushrooms. Their potential growth is at 62.8 million by 2032. What's all the hype about? Sea moss is known to be one of those supplements that offers a variety of minerals and vitamins. It helps in areas of inflammation, digestion, energy, and much, much more. Functional mushrooms have been studied for a very, very long time as fighting cancer properties, increasing health, and cognitive functions such as your brain. Currently, we are interested in partnering with industries that will allow us to separate us from the Gatorades and the Powerades of the world. Our products are known to be vegan-based and have natural, no alternative ingredients or sugars, and our products are less than sugars than most sports drinks. We're asking you to look outside the box. Look at your industry. Look at not just retail, look at having these products in-house, such as in your corporate offices, in your cafeterias, in your the space where your athletes go, because not only does our products serve various communities, but it also can target people who are actively looking for these products on a daily basis and cannot find them. We're asking that we are given the opportunity, just as Coke and Pepsi, to grow our brand and to offer better solutions for those who are looking for better solutions and to improving their health. We ask that you support us in efforts, because when we look for contracts and services, we are not finding them often because people are already knowing the bigger brands. We're asking for that you allow us the opportunity to grow and to show you what we're made of and how we are improving health in our communities. I thank you for your time, and I welcome any questions.
I have a couple. Nicole, can you tell us a little bit about the products that you provided today?
Sure. So I provided 4 different items. The first one in the packets are 3 different flavors of our sea moss gel. I know it sounds kind of gross to people who are not, does not recognize it, but it's actually pretty tasty. That's what separates us from our competitors. Our brand is, we want people to get the minerals and the vitamins they need and not worry about the taste. So we have provided pineapple, not your ordinary lime, and peach in our gel. Those are the packets. The drinks are our splashes, the sea moss splashes made with a coconut water that also helps with electrolytes and rebuilding and replenishing your body faster if you're out in the sun or working out. That would be the the orange looking vial. And then the other one is the lion's mane, which is our functional mushroom tea. The lion's mane lavender, which is very popular. Lion's mane helps with your brain cognitives, your function, your memory, your focus. The lavender inside helps with not only your moods, but also helps with inflammation within your body.
One other question. So during COVID, we were all virtual on our calls, and I was being a shirt and tie on the top, but sweatpants on the bottom. So and I did not get the memo about people taking care of themselves during COVID. I had to wear the sweatpants because the pants no longer fit. So what was it about COVID that triggered more healthy wellness and well-being and awareness? Can you talk to us a little bit about what changed during COVID?
Yes, there are certain people that, of course, were getting COVID, and they were looking for other alternative ways because a lot of people did not want to get the shot or already had COVID and couldn't figure out how to get rid of some of the symptoms. I have a prime example for one. My cousin who was suffering from COVID was on ventilators and things, and he learned about the sea moss. Well, his wife traveled and came and got the sea moss, and 3 days later he was out on a bike. So the nutrition and the minerals that it supplied him allow him to get the energy and replenish him a little bit faster than normal recovery than someone would have sea moss. Sea moss, again, is not new. A lot of people have been taking sea moss for decades, and a lot of stars on the West Coast have been taking sea moss. It became new to us in the Midwest when COVID arrived, and everyone was looking at the time for things to help improve their health.
I think that COVID caused all of us to take another look at our health. And I'm not one who like to take pills or take shots or whatever, but I do try to stay healthy. And so I do want to know more about your company, but I want to ask you the same question. In your hires, what does minority and women hires mean to your company?
Currently, I am the company. I'm looking to bring on college-specific age women, minorities that are needing, in the work-study areas to learn more about manufacturing, to learn more about business. I'm an advocate of mentorship, and I've done it in my past life, but I am actually very interested in growing the company and being able to hire more people who are interested in learning the business side of things and also the manufacturing side of things. So my goal and intentions are to hire someone within the next few months to start off, and someone that is just basically trying to get a fresh start in a new direction.
After you, please.
Where can we purchase your items? Is it just at your brick and mortar?
No. So I'm online. So R102, if you don't know, the 102 stands for the minerals your body needs. The R is for our Rose of Sharon. So R102wellness.com is where you can purchase. You can also purchase at the brick and mortar. You can also purchase at Georgetown Market on the west side. And then I'm also do a lot of vending, so usually people catch me out in the community and purchase products.
When you were certified through the state, what is your goal as far as who would you like to collaborate or partner with?
Absolutely. I am interested in collaborating with universities, gyms, corporate offices that have wellness programs, cafeterias, hospitals that have cafeterias that will be able to offer more than just water and Gatorade, because my products are less in sugar and more. They have better quality to them as far as being able to replenish the body faster. So those are some of the entities that I'm currently interested in working through.
Okay, thank you.
consistent with Commissioner Franklin's question, can you tell us why certification matters to you and your company?
I was very adamant in getting the certifications. I actually gained 3, and I was interested in being able to get in forefronts like this in order to present myself and to show that there's other avenues to wellness and better health. I believe that if in partnerships with whomever wants to come alongside of me, understands how much driven I am about wellness, and also wanting to partner with entities that give them an opportunity to think outside of the box. So it's a goal of mine to make sure that, you know, that I take the extra steps in my business and let you know how serious I am about representing my company and my brand in order to get in front of the forefront of many others.
Thank you so much for being here today. I want to commend you for starting your own business. I birthed my first business 35 years ago. It's a lot of work, and it continues to be a lot of work. It's not just that initial startup, but it's to continue growing that. I'm curious to know, do you work with a co-packer? How do you produce all these products, number one? And number two, well, first answer that, and then I'll...
Currently, I make everything myself out of my own brick and mortar. I'm looking to do co-packing, looking for the right partnerships to go alongside with whatever opportunities that are going to come about. So currently, it's me. I have some help every now and again, but mostly me. For not only my brick and mortar, but for Georgetown Market, I produce 600 bottles every 2 weeks for them. So it sells that fast. And so I'm looking to expand, grow, hire, co-pack, and all the 9 yards that goes along with it. And I'm taking the steps to do so. So I involve myself with a lot of cohorts that are offering different suggestions, ideas, and I also try to, you know, meet other people in the community that can provide some of the services that I'm going to need.
I think that's heading in the right direction, so I'm really proud of you for that. The other question I have is relating to the ingredients in your product. When you talk about less sugar, that's really a critically important thing. As we look to make Indiana healthier again, we have some of the highest obesity rates in the nation, right here in Indiana, and it affects everything. I serve on the Public Health Committee, so when we talk about Medicaid and Medicare and how those numbers keep increasing, a lot of that comes right back to unhealthy choices that we make as Hoosiers. So what you are doing in this could be helpful and impactful. And that's why, you know, a product like this having broader impact, you're going to probably have to have some help with co-packers and other people that can help you get there. But it certainly sounds like you're on the right path. So I want to commend you for that.
Thank you. I want to point out that we don't use any, you know, regular sugars that you would find in normal drinks. We use mostly natural sugars. The idea is to get the product in people's hands. Like if you hear sea moss, you more than likely are not going to want to intrigue to taste it, to follow up with it. Our goal was to be able to, for you to get the minerals and get the vitamin, and also have a decent taste to it to where you would want to. So now that parents have gotten a hold to it, now they say they can't keep it in their house because their kids are eating it, which is safe for kids, and it's helping them to not be as sick when they are in school.
One more question. Are there any contraindications? Is there anyone that this drink would not be appropriate for? For example, someone with a shellfish allergy or something like that. Is that an issue with this?
Yes, it can be. It just depends on the allergy. I do have customers who have a shellfish allergy, but they are fine with the sea moss. So I always give people usually a tester, or I'll precaution them. It says it on all my packaging. All my packaging is shelf stable and shelf ready. So anything, when someone brings those to my attention, I will address those. When I'm in vending, I have signs up to make sure people know that these have citrus, fungi, sea moss, all the sea, not the sea moss, but iodine and things of that in there for people who are sensitive, because I suffer from a lot of allergies, so I get it.
One of the excuse me, one of the things, if I might, I also serve on the Agricultural Committee for the great state of Indiana. And historically, I don't know if it's been done, but come January, you might want to tap into the Agriculture Committee and see if you could come and because one of the things that, and I've talked to the chair about this, one of the things we've not really done in the Agriculture Committee is discussed the chemicals and whatever that's going into our foods that are affecting our children. Psychiatrists and psychologists agree that the human mind is not fully developed at age 25, 27, and putting some of these chemicals into undeveloped minds is very detrimental.
Yes.
So to have someone like you to check with the chair of the Agriculture Committee and see if you could come and present to the Agriculture Committee at some point in time.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much.
I had a question. Do you plan to, or are you affiliated with any health or fitness or wellness coaches or any organizations?
I've been trying to partner with others. It's just trying to figure out how to get their attention to get into the door. I've put out, numerous advertisements, talked to some people that I meet along the way. Just trying to get my hands on the right individual that would, be willing to partner with me in doing some of these things. So they're definitely on top of my radar.
Have you considered perhaps becoming like a certified wellness coach or something like that?
I'm planning on being a holistic certification, having a holistic certification.
That'd be fabulous, because if you were able to tap into that network, they could help you with testimonials and endorsements.
Yes.
Do you have anything that grows hair back? I think.
Sea moss, black seed oil. It does.
There's a couple of us that would be your primary client.
Those two things that I named actually do help. It can help, I should say.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us today. I learned a lot, like my fellow commissioners and those in the audience. One thing is for sure, I could do a better job of living, judging by your comments here today, and I'm looking forward to visiting your website. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Commissioners, next up we have Twanita Jones, certified MBE WBE with our office, and she is with I Mean Business Laboratory. I believe she's passing around her materials now. No, that's okay. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Twanita Jones. I am the proud co-founder and director of I Mean Business Laboratory. This business was started back in 2019, right before COVID hit. Thank God we survived and we're still here. I Mean Business came about, as I said, I'm the co-founder, but my son and I started this business, and the name speaks for itself. So we specialize in pre-employment services, drug and alcohol testing, background checks, fingerprinting services, and we offer DNA services as well. One of the things that sets us apart from our competitors is we offer an on-site service where it makes it convenient for the employers or different agencies that we are looking to partner with, to where it helps the company save on their bottom dollar, saves them production time because they don't have to send their employees out and have an extensive wait time. So we will come to the location and provide these services. We offer an after-hour service. A lot of companies have second and third shift where the bigger not manufacturers, but the bigger drug testing companies such as LabCorp, Concentra, Quest, they're not open after hours, or they don't offer an on-site service where we do. like I said, we make it convenient and go out to the employer and provide the same quality services to their employees. We do post-accidents. We work with the Department of Transportation, truck drivers, warehouse companies, where if maybe a driver has had an accident over the road, we will go to a public central location and do the testing there, because sometimes their testing is time sensitive, such as alcohol testing. They have to do these things within a certain amount of time. So again, like I said, we will offer that on-site service for the convenience of them. We're looking to get into state and government contracting to, like I said, partner on a wider scale with different companies to, just get more exposure and offer these quality services to them. Any questions?
I don't have a question, got a comment.
Yes, sir.
I had a bill, House Bill 1047, this past session. And I wanted, if there was a police action shooting, I wanted that officer tested on the spot for drugs and or alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of pushback because I think the Police Chiefs Association felt like it was an attack on police officers. The Attorney General, Tyler Keita, supported my bill. The Governor Brown, supported my bill, but I got to Governor Brown late in session, and so he told me if I brought it back next year, then I could depend on him. So, and I served in the House with Governor Brown, so we kind of have a relationship. But the thing of it is, if you're stopped on the street and they feel that you're impaired, they give you a breathalyzer or whatever, test you for drugs. And I think that it's a win-win for the police officer and the victim, because if your child is shot by a police officer, you want to know that it was a police decision, not influenced by drugs and or alcohol.
Yeah.
And if you decide to sue, then that policeman is then armed with this information when he or she goes to court. That it was strictly a police decision to pull the trigger. It was not influenced by drugs and or alcohol. I'd like to hear your comments on that.
I agree. Like, I think that everyone, they say we all should be, equal, so to say.
Yeah.
But
say.
as we all know, we're not. And like you said, if something happened to my child, I would definitely want to know it was a conscious decision and not something influenced by their impairment to drug or alcohol. And our company, we would love to be the ones that come out and do that testing. So we would love to be the ones that come out and do that. So.
And again, what does minority hires and what does that mean to your company as far as minority and women?
It means a lot, first of all, because I am a minority. And like I said, I am co-founder. My son, of course, is a black co-founder of this business. And the name, if I can back up and say, the name came about when my son was dealing with some adversity in finding a job and, different things in life as our people are often deal with. So at one point he was just like, I'm ready to, get my life together, go out here and do the necessary things that I need to become a productive, law-abiding citizen. And he was like, I need to show these people that I mean business. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, my past is not going to define me. I am going to stand on what I mean. And, so, and going into places that he or we will actually have to be drug tested, like the bigger corporations, there's always or have been a sense of judgment, poor customer service. And that's our goal and our vision, is to allow people of all race and ethnicities to come into our place of business and not feel judged, or, you know, be able to have quality customer service and be treated like they matter.
Yes.
So we mean business.
I've been asking that question throughout, but this supply and diversity team, we have worked extremely hard to get equity in the hiring practices.
Yes.
From everybody. We want you to hire and make sure that you're not disqualified simply because you're a minority, because you're a veteran, because you're a woman. And I think this commission works very hard to make that happen. And I think that's a legitimate question that we should ask folk who come and present. And so, like, even to our colleges, I think, what does it really mean to you to hire minorities, hire women, hire veterans?
It means that we're giving them an opportunity that they would
Absolutely.
not otherwise have.
Right, right.
It means that we are allowing them to be put in a position to provide for themselves and their families, and an environment that may not have been available to them because of their ethnicity, or because, you know, of their skin color or their background.
Thank you so much. And I talk to so many young black men who have given up. I can't get a job because, I can't get a job because. And I'm working on a program now in House District 95 that will get past some of that. So, and I'd asked one of the presenters earlier about training. We want to start training so that you're ready for the job force, and so and provide hope for those folk. And that's the reason why I've been asking that question throughout this, you know, what does that hire mean to you? Because the more folk that we can hire and put to work and give them the mindset that I am valuable and that I do want to be a taxpayer, not a burden on, but an addition to. So that's for everyone that I've been asking that question to. I want you to know it's not just.
No, I've heard you.
So thank you.
Yes, it's a very valid question, though. Thank you. Did I answer it?
You did.
Okay.
You did.
Hi.
Hello.
What collaborations or partnerships are you interested in as far as you getting certified with IDOA, state of Indiana? What are you seeking?
So the partnerships is, like I said, I want to partner with the construction industry, pretty much anyone that needs our services, because I want to partner with those people that are losing out on their bottom dollar because they're sending their employees out. So I want to partner with people that value their production time, who value their employees, that want to make sure they have a drug-free workplace, and, you know, are actually implementing those services. And so with us being able to provide an on-site service that eliminates the employees being able to have that time to maybe adulterate their specimen collection. So again, for them to understand that, you know, we are focused on giving you a drug-free workplace environment, so therefore you don't have to be concerned with the safety of your employees. You don't have to be concerned with losing the production downtime that you will lose because your employer is out at a location for hours. So just all those companies that value those things. So.
I'd like to make a suggestion.
Yeah.
Contact all, and I mean all, the union halls. Let them know that you have this capability.
Yes.
And contractors as well, especially general contractors. Let them know that you're available and what you can provide. You'd be interesting how quick you might get some calls.
Well, we've reached out to some, and we get that same, we currently work with the larger Concentras and Quest and LabCorp. We don't stop. We keep, hey, if there's, an after-hour service you need, or if there's a time that they're not available, give us a call.
Well, again, the contractors, the general contractors.
Yes.
Those are the ones that you need to be contacting.
Yes.
Because it dribbles down, especially on the PLOs. They have to consider other opportunities.
Thank you.
And make sure that you attend as many networking events as you can within that industry so that you can get the word out and people know who you are and they associate your face with your name, your business name, create your brand.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Next, we have our state educational institution reports. We will begin with Indiana State University.
As a reminder to all of the state educational institution reps, you have 2 minutes. You will be timed by Austin.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Brian Bromstrip for Indiana State University. Thank you for having me. Starting today, I guess, with construction. While the overall figures for our MBE spend were down slightly from the last quarter, WBE spend was up to 29.5% for the first quarter on construction. Mostly continued 2 projects. Our Center for Technology project's been ongoing for about a year, as well as a roof replacement project we did for facilities and a renovation project that added to those to that spend number. Both of these, those major projects, the top 2 there, continue to process. One will end this summer and one will end next summer. And we continue to work with the general contractors and extend our XBE spend through those ongoing projects. Since we put the slide together, just FYI, ironically, the things on the right are on hold. One looks like I got it right, but a couple of those things did change for anyone in the audience who's interested in those opportunities. We continue to post those on our plan, any public works construction opportunities on our plan rooms, focus alongside the construction managers on those bigger projects too. For commodity and supply purchases this quarter, dropped slightly in MBE to 3%, and WBE rose to 6.5%. Mostly continued ongoing supplier relationships there with some additions to some relationships that we've had with MBE suppliers. Although not as strong as last quarter, professional services was down. WE spend of 2.3%, and both MBE and veteran-owned at about 1%. One of the things now that I've been at ISU for about a year now, and I've been evaluating some of the ways that we do procurement processes as one of the tasks put forth by me in administration. I guess one of the things that I'm looking to do in the new year here as we approach it is what I'm calling a re-engagement, a vendor re-engagement of registered vendors. We've got quite a database, I found, of vendors of all sorts, of course, but particularly to reconnect with XBE suppliers and that are not either being utilized or haven't bid or bid well. You know, the gamut's out there, but want to be able to re-engage them and find out their current statuses and make sure that we're utilizing those people that want to work in our market. That's time.
Question. Let me get the right page. So your paid-to-date percentage for your WBEs is 29.51% for your WBEs in construction. I might have asked this last time, but can you talk to us about your W community there in and around Indiana State that's contributing to the high construction number?
Yeah, well, I think in that particular case, they're not just local; they're Indianapolis-based as well, because of the construction general manager, general contractor. He's based, Garmin's based in both locations, but they've brought those people in from the entire Wabash Valley, I think, as opposed to just the Terre Haute community. not looking back, again, not putting me on the spot a little bit to try to decide. I know there were a couple in the previous quarter that were local businesses, carpet providers and scrap, what do you call that? The true renovation guys, I'm missing the term there, were Terre Haute based, but I think really they're bringing those in from the surrounding communities. Yeah. I think it's contributing across the board.
Thank you.
Hi, I was wondering, are you guys participating in the IDOA Impact with partnership with Queen City Women in Business?
We
program?
chose not to. It's kind of a conflict with some current relationships that we have in Queen City there. We work with Diversify and got a contract with them to help us with some of those things. So felt a little bit of conflict of interest to do that. I did attend the meeting.
Okay.
Obviously I have some interest.
There's interest. Okay, because I believe the program is to recruit, prepare, and assist with the IDOA certification for 30 days.
Okay.
They're assisting with the universities to help find diverse businesses, assisting with the specific IDOA certification.
Sure.
So you said the conflict was what again? I'm sorry.
Well, I took it Queen City was, with them involved, we work with another organization that we're under contract with to help us with our XP spend, so maybe not, but.
Oh, did you check with IDOA or anyone to see where that conflict lies?
No, I don't believe I did.
Oh, okay. No further questions.
I want to ask you, as I did the vendors, what does minority women hire, veteran hire mean to you?
Well, I think to me, giving the opportunity to bid on opportunity, everything we do is competitively bid. So having good partnerships and including them in those opportunities and repeating those opportunities when you can for someone who's been successful vendor with us. I mean, that's the target all along, is to find organizations that want to provide the best services possible and can meet the expectations of what those needs are at any given time.
Okay. Did you hear my question?
Yeah. I think in that you've got to include all forms of suppliers, and that includes women-owned businesses and minority-owned businesses. And, we try to focus on that in all of our bids and have a minimum of two minority opportunities on each of those bids.
I just have another question. So, what are our goals as far, are we meeting our numbers, or are we close to it? And the reason I'm saying is more so because I believe several other sessions we kind of talked about maybe making some changes or looking at other options when things possibly don't work. And
Right.
so I just kind of want us to be open to other opportunities so that our
Sure, I think
numbers can truly increase.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, I think looking at any opportunities is smart. We have a process that we follow, and sometimes those processes need to be improved. I mean, that's something that I think, again, administrations look to me to help evaluate in my time there. And now that I've had some opportunity to do that, I can see where, we can get better every time, and every opportunity, we're making a viable effort to try to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know IDOA does have, their program is free. So there's, the state has put in dollars to afford the universities this program. So I just kind of would like for all universities to be open-minded.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Can you talk a little, can you just, I don't mean to belabor the point, but can you explain the conflict that you referenced earlier?
Well, again, may just be my impression of our relationship with another organization that's not Queen City that helps supply diverse candidates and XPE spend with us. It's just another organization that supplies that. So my feeling was being supplied by one or the other, and maybe a misunderstanding of what the program is about, but didn't want to conflict with our current contractor.
And I think that if I'm understanding the issue accurately, I don't, the state wouldn't have a conflict, and I don't think the contractor would have a conflict with the state providing a free service. And this is the program is designed to enhance your efforts, not compete
take
with
away.
other market participants that are providing the same service. So our effort is simply designed to complement your outreach efforts and your goal participation. So
Sure.
I hope that we could reevaluate that, and if there is indeed a conflict or the perception of a conflict, let's talk about it offline and find a positive solution if it makes sense for everybody.
Sounds good.
I know there's a lot of policy to bureaucracy between the state and educational facilities or institutes. I'm just having a problem with the state of Indiana not having some of the things I've seen in other states. There's policies in other states where if a contractor submits a bid, if he doesn't have an inclusion of some minority, whether it be male, female, Asian, no matter what, had no inclusion of any in their contract that they're bidding on, they weren't even allowed to provide the bid. When are we going to see that in the state of Indiana? I know that's a tough question for you, but I mean, can you take that back to folks and tell them that this is what we're looking at? We're wondering why.
Who pushes that agenda?
Well, Commissioner, your point's well taken. The agency is engaging in a comprehensive effort to examine the right policies that we can control administratively, and then the right policies to recommend to the legislature. However, there's a changing dynamic in the federal and the state landscape that is caused these programs great scrutiny, and we're in the middle of that analysis right now. So I think some of my comments earlier about some of the policy changes and pursuits coming up, and I mean this with all sincerity, haven't been as significant as what they will be next year as opposed to the last 20 years. So 20 years ago, 2005, Ms. Daniels is in office, IDOA experience, it's modern regulatory and statutory framework. We're in the middle of that study and that examination this summer, which is going to inform future policy considerations such as the one you just raised, in addition to so many other competing policy interests. So that is certainly a question for this office and this administration and this legislature, and those balances will occur with great interest here in the coming months.
Thank you. I needed to hear more encouragement, and it's a good thing you're looking back at this because we've been waiting a long time.
If I might, Commissioner Coates, I'm listening to your response to my question, and in my opinion, you kind of danced around the question. You didn't answer the question.
Sorry.
But the question directly was, what does minority women veteran hire mean to you? And I really didn't hear an answer to that specific question. But Commissioner Coates, we may need to do some things legislatively, and we are looking at that. By all means, we are looking at that to do some things. So, and I pretty much work across the aisle, and Representative King and I work very well together. So you can look for some things to happen.
Good. Encouraging. That's what I'm looking for. Change.
I had a quick question. I'm not sure if it's for you, Commissioner Clifton or Commissioner Rich, but Could you go back a couple slides maybe to where the goals are there? And I'm wondering, are these quarterly results? Are there also year-to-date results? Because if a university had a bad quarter, well, it's not fair to evaluate them on a quarter. Is there some other longer-term statistics that could be represented here other than just a quarter? Or am I off base on that? I'm trying to understand the playing field we're in now. I realize the landscape will change.
No, I was thinking the same thing. Now, this is a snapshot of this last quarter. I think in future meetings, I was thinking the same thing. And a comparison to the last quarter and maybe year to date would provide a more accurate reflection of this particular quarter's balance with the performance of the last year or so.
And back to the gentleman on the stand then. So my question becomes, is this a fair reflection? Oops, it changed again. Could we go back to you're the first one. Okay. So you're the first one here.
Yep.
Is this an accurate reflection of the past year or two, or what would you say in terms of your long-term average?
Yeah.
Is it high or low, or where do you stand?
I think it's probably on the mark on the WBE side. We're standing fairly firm with the bulk of our suppliers falling into that category. But as MBE is typically a little higher than it is for the quarter. Veterans has been low. It's again, I think we've talked about a bit about that in the past, and targeting that as an opportunity for continued growth. It is about where things typically are, I think, by quarter. It does depend on what happens in a particular time frame as far as projects and what people request of purchasing as far as that's concerned.
Is there any way we could put that in? Is that part of the plan then, is to put when they come in and report and give us here's my 2-year average, 3-year average, I just had a bad quarter.
Sure.
Or I had a really good quarter, or whatever. So
we were just talking about the same thing.
Excellent, thank you.
The next meeting, we'll be able to provide more of an average snapshot year to date, last couple years, some objective perspective as to performance in previous reporting periods.
Because I see it as an opportunity for those who are really doing well in their goals to learn from the others. You guys come and sit and rub elbows every time we come up and visit.
Sure,
it'd be good to share some information and best practices.
Yeah, we try to work together as much as we can.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I've been asking for this for years. Thank you. I think that the weighted dollar average also should be looked at, because at the federal level, we have to report across the average dollars total. And I think we should probably follow the same uniform so that we're consistent with dollar-to-dollar comparison.
Sorry, taking notes. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Purdue University.
I'm vertically excellent, so I have 3.5-inch heels on today. Good afternoon. Thank you to the commission, to our new chair. Welcome. And I just want to thank everyone in the room for their commitment. I am honored to be the manager of the Office of Supplier Diversity at Purdue University. Program progress, based on what I'm showing you today. These numbers are not excellent. Our first quarter is typically one of our lowest in the year, especially with the construction, because we haven't started to dig up asphalt, and we haven't put shovels in the ground yet. So that construction number is low. However, as you'll see in some of my notes, that had we been able to count the full expenditure on our new academic success building, if we were able to include both the joint venture with Harmon plus our XBE spend on top of that, which we have to exclude, we would have exceeded the MBE goal for that quarter. And so 2 things. What are we doing about it? The 2 things that we were challenged with are attrition and utilization. So we decided to eliminate barriers to people being utilized within our system. We've sent out the letters to certifications that have fallen off, and to date we have 3 that have committed that they will be working with IDOA to get recertified. We're happy about that because they're important to us. Our net new pipeline, which I'm going to need, because as as you have attrition, succession planning fails with certain companies, you have to have a net new pipeline. So we are utilizing and very excited about the state's investment in the 30 cap certification accelerator that Commissioner Franklin outlined, and we're happy to be a corporate supporter of that. And we will look forward to them accessing us the talent that we need to meet our goals. Our quarterly business reviews with all Tier 1 suppliers include the fact that they need to have a deep bench for Tier 2. We have a few barriers to getting enough Tier 2 suppliers on that bench, but that's what the 30 cap will help us do. And we continue to struggle with our veteran numbers. We lost one of our second largest veteran-owned company due to succession. And so we are looking at how to replace that or possibly getting more Tier 2 suppliers on that Tier 1 contract. The Shield Sexton project at ASB is on track to get the 25% extra XBE spend, even though I won't be able to report that towards the goal. We continue to be committed to this purpose build in the city of Indianapolis. And once I can publicly share the master plan, I will send it to Deputy Commissioner Rich, and she can share it with the commission so you can see the larger vision for what we have planned here in Indianapolis, which will be our south campus from West Lafayette. With that, I'm happy to entertain any questions from the commission.
I'm sorry, you might have mentioned this in your comments. I might have missed it. In the last bullet point here, it says Purdue Primes continue to have problems locating qualified subcontractors due to the state's high volume of construction activity. I might have just answered my own question by reading it out loud, but I think it's just due to the demand and what's happening across the state, they're just not available. Is that right?
We're fighting for the same people. If you say just Shield Sexton alone, they have 5 massive builds, all with different partners across the city, and that's just Shield. That doesn't, we're always building something at Purdue. So we're trying to access as much talent as we can. The other thing that we are doing with the Shield build for ASB is that we are doing individual bid package XBE outreach. So we are making sure that every day new people come in and out of the IDOA website. We check that first, share it with our partners at Shield, make sure that the trades groups know that we are doing these in-person events, because we want everyone to have the opportunity to team, to meet the people. If you're in low voltage electrical, we want you to be with the person that will probably have the best chance of winning the work as the prime on that piece of it. And so we're really grateful with Shield. This was a new way of doing things. It hadn't been done that way before. And, but we felt that it was the best way to get the most people into our system to know what we're really working with and who is showing up to want to do the work.
When will the academic success building be complete?
2027.
2027.
Fall of 2027. Lots of beds to get ready.
I'm going to have to leave. I got a viewing I'm going to have to go to, but my same question to you. What does the minority women veteran hire, what does that mean to you?
Well, as a former WBE myself, and someone that's been a part of this diverse community and has always been a support, I think for those who were able to attend OMWBD's event out at the Speedway, it was a day of community, and it was a day to remind each other to be, as my president says to me, to stay serene, be sturdy, and strategic. And so I would say it means community, because that's what's always been to me. I wouldn't have had a business without it, and I certainly wouldn't be here today without it.
I'd like to make one comment. I noticed how you reformatted this. I like this, the format on your slide here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Another comment. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas. Maybe there could be some photographs of some of these projects. I don't know if that would take away from our time here today, but perhaps there could be a competition between maybe, I don't know, Purdue and IU about the best photographs. Just throwing out an idea there.
We're still upset about the IUPUI divorce, but the kids are fine. I would love that. And actually, we could provide supplementary, as we are able to have the public master plan together for all that we're doing from our public projects. I could share that with Commissioner Rich, and she could share it with the entire group, offline, because it's about a 60-page document, but it does give you a good, look into what our public projects are right now.
Yeah, because I see the numbers and everything every quarter, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what this actually looks like without actually going and visiting. Maybe I'll schedule a field trip and we'll come
Let's do
visit.
it.
Okay.
I always love to take people around campus.
Thank you.
I think that's all. Thank you so much. Up next, we have Ivy Tech.
Good afternoon. Marcus Bickle, Executive Director of Strategic Sourcing for Ivy Tech Community College. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We had a rough quarter. For those of you that may be following, you can see Ivy Tech is going through a lot of transition right now, which is adding to some of the uncertainty around our supplier diversity program. To Commissioner Franklin's point, we are looking at ways to make some alterations. I've been with the college a little over 3 years, and a lot of our focus, or my focus during our time, for many of you who've been on the commission for a while, you've heard me say this, that Ivy Tech has a very decentralized procurement process. Each campus does its own purchasing. So what we were doing for a while when working with campus reps was working with our diversity, equity, and belonging programs and connecting them with our business offices. We sunset our diversity, equity, and belonging program back in March, which is having some effect in trying to determine, okay, how do we move forward with working with our campuses? Okay. And then as as I'm sure you also know, we are going through a presidential change, which is also affecting some of our different positions down the line, and then obviously the budgetary concerns that popped up for all of us. So we're just going through a lot of transition, and I'm hoping to have a little more direction come September after the dust has had a chance to start to settle. But I know that probably isn't the best answer you all are looking for now, so I will try to answer questions, but some of them may be punted to September the best I can do. So.
All right, so what reason, I know you've got a lot of changes going on, totally understand that, but what is the reason that you did not participate in the program?
I think that one, I'll take the bullet on that one. That one was on me. I just was underwater, and by the time I realized what was happening, I looked at my calendar and said, I've like double booked already, so I need to follow back up on that one. And then also determine who at our campuses I need to connect that with. I talked with Aaron for a little while at the IDOA event and realized that seems to be the best process, is to figure out who at my campuses will be best benefit from that.
Okay, and just to follow up, I did send an email to all of you guys on May 23rd to inform you all of this program, and I do understand that a lot of us are short-staffed. That happens. It's just part of operations, but we do need to make sure that we make it a priority to maintain the goals, or try to get our numbers back up.
Understood.
So operations do change, but we do need to try to make sure that we're putting someone else or making sure that we're making sure that it's a priority.
Correct.
And showing that it's a priority.
Yep.
Thank you so much,
Understood.
Marcus.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a question.
Sure.
What campus are you based on? Where's your office?
So the way, I'm in Indianapolis. The way Ivy Tech is set up, we have 19 campuses across the state. I am actually with our systems office, which is our admin. So I'm not affiliated with a campus directly. I am, part of my duties with the college is to try to work with the campuses on these efforts to make sure they understand the importance of it and work on different outreach efforts.
Okay, so
Part of my job.
you're in Indianapolis, right?
Correct.
Okay. So do you visit the other campuses, the satellite campuses from time to time?
I do.
Okay. I was at a event called Veteran-Owned Small Business. It was put on by the Small Business Administration on the Bloomington campus. I spent a day there experiencing what opportunities lie. I met the chancellor and some other folks Troy Phelps, I believe we had, Keisha, I think we had some interaction with him. He's a veteran advocate and there on the campus at the School of Entrepreneurship. And that day, there was probably about 12 veteran-owned businesses. Is there a way to connect those folks who come to those events directly with you?
Yes.
And how would that be done?
Do you remember the date of that event, or approximate, or maybe not the exact date?
It was it was May 22nd, I believe.
Of this past?
Yeah, like.
Okay. Well,
But-
and that sometimes becomes an issue with the college as well, sometimes the communication, because I was not
Mhm.
informed that was going on. So I would have been at that and would have connected with them there. So I can reach out to the campus and figure out who their folks were. Because I know the Bloomington campus did one about a year ago that I was at. That's what I was hoping you were going to say, not that there was one in the last.
Because that would be absolute perfect. Because there was a roof contractor, there were some other contractors in various stages. It wasn't like brand new entrepreneurs. It's those who had some seasoning that, again, no other entrepreneurs. I think Commissioner Flanken recommended previously how important networking was. There's a fabulous network of the folks right there on your campus at these particular events, exactly the people that it looks like, based upon the numbers, all universities need to take a stronger focus on.
Yeah, and honestly, that's a little tough to hear, just because.
I realize you're in the middle of.
No, I mean, just because I know
changes.
that one of the closest thing we have to a centralized procurement is our large construction projects. And I know that they are actively working on improving their veteran spend. So I'm gonna have to I'll reach out to Bloomington and find out and get them connected with our facilities team.
And are those, sir, are those chancellors, are they for each facility then? Is there a chancellor on each one?
There's a chancellor for each campus.
For each campus, okay.
So the way that, so there's a chancellor for each campus, and then underneath that, there's a separate business office, and most purchasing does occur at the campus level for, like a lot of the stuff that I work on is going to be like software that is being used throughout the entire state. But stuff like supplies and a lot of services that are specific to a campus are done at the campus level. Some construction, if it's over about 2 million, then it becomes something that is that's driven by our admin team, our systems office admin team. Otherwise, it's going to be driven at the campus level also. One thing that was interesting that I found is that the chancellor of the Bloomington campus is a Air Force veteran. He's a retired, I believe he's a lieutenant colonel and a pilot. Very, very energetic and dynamic individual. So it might be a real good connection for you to make with him. And okay, our current interim provost is also a veteran as well. Excellent. So, and our chancellor, actually, a little bit off subject, so I'll get moving, but our Indianapolis campus chancellor is a ex-Marine, also a lawyer, and about 5 other things. And wow, okay. They just started a program about a year ago with the Coast Guard that she's very proud of. So, yeah, we're pretty well represented. You're surrounded by talent. Thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll hear from Indiana. I'd say WBE is a little higher than normal. Our MB is a little bit lower, and our veteran, we're normally around 1%. So areas we're still hindering by construction is our MBE and our veterans. So those are areas we continue to try to find vendors that can fill those with our primes, trying to make those connections. So some of the projects we have upcoming, most of them are construction based, so kind of ties in. We have our right administration renovation, which should be bid out in the next month. The New Harmony Bill House actually is out for bid. It is due on July 3rd. And that's in New Harmony, Indiana. The classroom audio visual had to be put on hold. They had to do some redesign work on that. So it'll be put out to bid in the next couple months. Campus paper products and liners are actually out to bid. Spoke with a vendor that's here already, and they took down the information, so hopefully we'll get several bids for that. It's due mid-June. And then our Applied Technology College of Business is a new lab that they're adding there. So as I've got on there, I list several opportunities that are throughout the year, coming up in the fall. With students coming back, anything entertainment based, we'll have those kind of opportunities, whether it's inflatables or food trucks. Just they do everything they can for them. Thanks. Just wanted to kind of cover a couple outreach things. My staff member, Julie Winesapple, attended the Garden Resource Center and connected with several new businesses. I also worked with Commissioner Patterson's suggestion. I worked with our Director of Veteran, Military, and Family Resources at USI, and he got me in contact with all the Veteran Affairs officers. And so Speedy, I think you may know, he replied with several businesses. Unfortunately, none of those are certified. So I think that's an opportunity we have to look at those businesses and see, hey, can we get those going down certification path? Had a couple others reach out as well, providing kind of more general, but that's an area I want to kind of focus and get back to. So just kind of some of the outreach efforts that we try to continue doing. With that, I'm open to any questions you might have.
Hey there.
Yes.
I know you responded to my email.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Were you able to make any
I have
accommodations?
not connected with them yet.
Okay.
I had previously talked with the Queen City Women business, but not in relation to this new program. So that's definitely an area we want to take a look at and see the opportunity. It kind of sounds like it could fit well, maybe not with the veteran, but if they're women veteran owned, it could fit with certification. I assume it's women-based?
It's no.
It's all? It's all?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, then that works.
Yeah, the IDOA certification through this program is, however, they can be certified, if I'm correct. So it's MBE and WBE certifications, not the VBE.
Okay, not the VBE.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so definitely we will be looking at that.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for following up on my suggestion from last quarter. I appreciate that. Quick question. Do you know if the Evansville Chamber of Commerce segments their members by veteran-owned business or not?
I do not know that answer. I know when I was talking, Evansville's veteran was just changing the
Correct, they have a new.
And so I've not connected with them at this point. And so I don't know if maybe they'd be able to help if I can get that connection with that question.
I believe it's Monroe County or Bloomington, their Chamber of Commerce does that. I thought it was rather impressive, so it would be an easy way to catalog those who are veteran-owned. And I was working with the Department of Veterans Affairs, the chair this morning. We were kind of brainstorming that idea. Maybe there's other chambers of commerce who could identify their veteran-owned businesses to make it easier for you to identify those who, because it's tough now. Not a lot of veteran-owned businesses identify themselves, and if we can get them to do that, then we can get them closer to the certification level.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, thanks. We'll hear from Vincennes University.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Michael Morrison, Director of Purchasing, Vincennes University, also Risk Manager. Commissioner Franklin, we might as well get this out of the way. I was on the call. I was worried about my bandwidth, so I spoke with Taja about maybe not participating going forward. And after my second email from her, I was wrong. I'm in.
Okay. Thanks.
You know, before the meeting, Maria and I were talking about our pipeline and making sure that we always have and we're filling that pipeline, which leads that to, and I shared with Commissioner Patterson a couple months ago that Matrix Integration's owner, majority owner, has retired. And Matrix Integration and Vincennes University have had a 35-year partnership and the bulk of my WBE spend. And with the chain of ownership, I will no longer be able to report that. And that's tough to fill. That is very hard for us to backfill. And you do this long enough, you run into companies that either sell or change ownerships. And that's, you know, I'd say about 2-3 years ago we met at the business to business. So you build those partnerships and eventually somebody will come up and say, hey, I need this. Then you can go back and you've got that partnership, and that's where Tammy's still working with us today.
1 minute.
Oh, really? Okay, the main thing that I'm working on is our health science, furniture and equipment purchases for our new building. As I mentioned the last time, and since then we've awarded the contract, it was $1 million for WBE for the bulk of the furniture for the new building. One of the other projects I'm working on, I do all the service agreements for the university, and I posted up there the XBEs that support us, and many of those are long-time partnerships, and they just continue on, and it's all relationships that I can count on. I always hope to add to that list. Sometimes it's hard. Some fall on, some go on. We good? Anybody got any questions?
That was fantastic. Thank you. Any questions?
No?
Commissioner? Thank you so much. We're from Ball State.
Roger Hasensall, Director of Purchasing Services and Auxiliary and Business Contracts at Ball State University. I can't say that our numbers have just struggled for the last few quarters. They have struggled for the last few years. Continue to be creative, come up with new initiatives, new approaches. The hardest area is construction, and it drives us through the ground every time. We have some major contractors that seem to come back on continuous basis, and others cannot compete with them. They come in and they hit hard. So what we've been doing is working hard with them and creating roundtables and having discussions with the major contractors that do seem to be winning the awards, and connecting them to the smaller businesses and others, and hoping to create relationships that way to create opportunity. Angela, I will answer also. We're looking at that. The bandwidth is there, but I do work and am part of the membership of Queen City. So we do communicate, and I am part of that. So,
1 minute.
And boy, you shortened our time. You see the opportunities up there that we have right now. I'm hoping to get participation from all areas. I am pushing, my department is 100% devoted to getting the word out there, making sure that the IDOA, mid-states, Queen City, all areas are aware of what opportunities are coming up and what projects are coming up and available. And I have been trying to reach out to the veterans. I still have not made that connection. If someone could help me, anyone, I'm open. Any questions?
Yes, you said there was a large to small business roundtable. What were some of the conclusions, comments, observations from those that were in attendance?
They were happy with the event. Some came back and said it was very beneficial. Even outside of Ball State, they were able to make connections and gain business opportunities. And the feedback is good. And we follow up on that. And we asked the major contractors if they could share with us, what opportunities, actually not just saying we're going to do business with you, but how many actual construction projects did you have some of these participants in on? Because sometimes you're in the room and, the commitment's made there and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call you, you can handle the electric part. And then you find out like 3 weeks before the project starts, they're called and told, we don't need you. we got someone else. So we try to follow that and keep track of it and keep the major contractors to task.
I like the idea of the roundtable. Maybe we could put something together for the fall and have it focused, veteran-focused.
Be awesome.
Would you contact me, please? And I'll help you arrange that. I'll get you connected to the veteran
will.
community there.
Please. Thank you.
Yep. You got my number?
I'll get it. I'll get your number.
Okay.
All I have to say is my daughter just committed to Ball State, so go Cardinals. So you'll be seeing me.
All right. But I will tell this team I am extremely devoted to this. I know there's a lot of title changes and department change names, but it has not deterred me. And, you know, Representative Bartlett was asking, what does it mean, women, minority, and that? To me, it's not a matter of providing opportunity, but fairness, equalization, the right thing. And I got some amazing business partners in all those categories that have fought harder, went through more, and had to jump more hurdles than any average business could dream of. And it's made them, unfortunately, they had to go through that, but it's made them extremely dependable and very, very strong, devoted partners that are very proud in what they provide.
Let's talk. Let's talk offline. If you could. Not at this time, but you're more than welcome to follow up with him offline. Please do. But Keisha, let's get some time scheduled to talk more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keisha. Sorry. Not going as deep as what maybe otherwise would. We're short on time. We still have a lot to get through and want to balance the fact that we'll be over scheduled, but we have an engaged commission today and want to respect and provide as much opportunity for discussion as possible. God bless you. Welcome to the podium, Indiana University.
Richard Wise, Director of Small Business Development and Engagement, Indiana University. And Diesel, would you please stand? I want everybody to greet Diesel. He is with the IU University Upward Bound program. And I was fortunate enough to get him for the next several weeks as a student that I've been mentoring. So I wanted to bring him to this meeting and get him exposed to some of the things that we're exposed to. And I'm also working with him to get him in touch with other companies that we partner with. So, left side of the slide first, and then the right side of the slide. So, in closing out this reporting quarter, we had the top orange, 169 sourcing events through our purchasing folks. Of those, we had 72, almost 73% of those 169 where we had minority women and veteran companies invited to compete for those opportunities. The blue section, 1,402 total suppliers invited to compete. Of that, 213 were minority women and veteran companies. 1 minute. Okay, 15%. Down at the bottom, we awarded almost $42 million in contracts. Of that, 5.6 million went to minority women and veteran companies, right around 13.5%. Right side of the slide, our numbers are up in the MBE column, particularly in construction, as you can see, 18.44%. Yay. Weighted average 9.24%. We're still struggling on the veteran side, particularly in professional services. I do want to note, I went back and scanned our PRO, professional services. We had 25, even though it only represents 5% across each column, 25 companies, professional services that we're doing business with. One as a veteran, $433,000. That was a temporary staffing agency. Excuse me, I got that in reverse. $636,000 for one temporary veteran, temporary staffing agency. $433,000 falls up under professional services and capital planning and facilities. We had a call out May 22nd, Economic Development Summit called for proposals. They wanted folks across all the campuses to submit ideas for economic development and workforce development. We're targeting that too as well. We're also working very closely with capital planning and facilities and professional services, construction, and repairs and rehab to try to get our spend up even more than what it is. I'll take questions. I'm ready. I said I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, hey, Richard. So did you participate in the program, the 30 CAP program?
I sure did, and I did it before it was in partnership with the state.
Fantastic. All right, well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
No, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
We will shift to our friends at NDOT and the DBE program update.
It's really just me. So just a couple of things. Thank you for touching on the current environment. For the lawsuit, obviously the DBE program is impacted. We continue to follow the orders of the federal court and the federal regulations at this time. So just some DBE certification data through the end of May. We have currently certified 774 DBEs, 34 in this year. That's pretty average for us to do a smaller number in this quarter. Typically, we get more certification requests in the winter when construction is completed. My colleague, Derek Kaysen, who is the longtime DBE program administrator, is retiring at the end of this year. And so we have hired a new DBE program administrator who is one of our certification specialists, Sarah Mobley. And I'll bring her to the September meeting so that you can meet her. I'll bring Derek as well if he can attend so we can recognize his extreme contribution to this industry. So she has been hired. She's working her way through the state personnel pipeline and will shadow him for 6 months until he retires. So I'll be happy to bring her as well. For our outreach information, I want to say thank you to Keisha and the IDOA team. We had a great resource garden event. I know you'll probably touch on that some more during your report, but it was a really great turnout. A lot of good tabling, good information about bonding and financial information. Overall, a really great success. I think that's probably something we should probably do annually or every other year for sure. Lots of good feedback from that. We're working towards an additional event this year with IDOA. Of course, we'll be attending your future event in October, as we always do. So for us, we are doing a hauler reimbursement program this summer. So last year, we did a pre-qualification reimbursement program. It ties right in with our financial responsibilities. And so haulers are not pre-qualified in DOT, neither are suppliers. And so we needed to do something to represent the hauler community because they make up a large percentage of the DBE population. So what we're doing is reimbursing for parts and or maintenance for fleet as a part of that program. It will launch in July of this year. Our pre-qualification program last year was simply for construction. It offers businesses up to $10,000 reimbursement for their audits to become pre-qualified with NDOT and the state of Indiana as a whole. That was a very successful and in-demand program. We completely maxed out the $100,000 that we had. So we're doing it again this year. However, we're including consultants because consultants also have to be pre-qualified. And so we'll be launching that also in July of this year with the start of the new fiscal year. We are doing business development programming last quarter of this year. We'll, of course, send information out through Keisha to your certified population. Our agenda is to be determined, but mostly how to bid with NDOT, how to understand opportunities, marketing your business, those kinds of things. So we'll provide more details as those come along. And we are hiring a new BOI coordinator. And that process is ongoing. We hope to have someone hired and in place sometime later this summer. So happy to answer any questions that you might have.
And let me, if I could supplement your comments, it was probably vague earlier when I spoke about the ongoing changes in the federal landscape. So the United States Department of Transportation has entered a consent decree with two plaintiffs. If memory serves, they're Indiana-based companies, but they're construction companies that operate in Kentucky and Indiana and the Ohio River Valley. That consent decree, well, plaintiffs sued the United States Department of Transportation under equal protection grounds in that awarding contracts based on minority or gender status was a discriminatory practice. The United States Department of Transportation has entered into a consent decree to remove minority and women-based awarding practices for purposes of a procurement or a procurement evaluation. And as such, the U.S. Department of Transportation's disadvantaged business program will shift to a small business program regardless of race or gender. So while Indiana and IDOA's minority, women, and veteran business rules are governed by state statute, and the department will observe those statutory requirements, we live in a nexus with NDOT and the programs administered federally. And then the funds that are spent by NDOT that are only state funded then look to state rules to govern diversity, participation, and subcontract. So, like I said earlier, this is a changing landscape. This is, I think there's obviously a lot of uncertainty, and we're looking to offer some of that certainty this summer. I alluded in my remarks in the February meeting that I anticipated scrutiny and independent analysis would be needed. My job here coming up is to brief 206, and then the NDOT and the U.S. Department of Transportation consent decree was entered, and that kind of created new perspective, maybe most generically. So there are, like I said, there are ongoing, just drastically changing variables here at play. One of the issues is the appropriateness of the time in which these programs have been in place. The Indiana's program has been in place 42 years. These programs are designed to be temporary in nature and designed to be data-based to right a societal or an economic wrong. But they are not and should, according to case law, not be operational in perpetuity. And so there's a balance as to how much time these programs should be in place, the data that supports the ongoing administration of the program, and then, of course, probably that third dimension, litigation, court orders, changing legislative environments. There's just, I think there's Indiana and states around the country and cities around the country that have these programs and work within these programs are approaching a T, and analysis is required as to how these programs are going to support the communities that is consistent with the legislative will or the will of case law. So there is, I assure you, by the time we convene here here in September, I will have some better clarity, maybe not absolute, because certainly our legislative partners will have an opportunity to inform Indiana's direction here policy-wise. Anything I said that you would correct or clarify? Okay, thank you. Let's go to our beloved Keisha Rich.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to show you our organizational chart. So as some of you may know or may not know, our Director of Business Development and Outreach, Graham Melendez, has moved out of state. And so all of those questions that you were sending to him will now either go to myself or to Austin. Austin, raise your hand for help in the business development and outreach area. Next slide, please. So for our business development and outreach, I too want to thank the NDOT team for partnering with us for the Resource Garden. We had 226 attendees. That's close to 100% attendance. We had how many registered, Austin? 300. So we did really good. It was a really, really great event. To Commissioner Franklin's point earlier when she said to make sure as business owners you are networking. If you are not in the rooms where I'm in, NDOT's in, the city of Indianapolis is in, you're in the wrong rooms. You need to be in those rooms. That are where your opportunity sits. So please make sure that you are staying in tune with all of our event calendars so that you can be in the room. We, as the Division of Supplier Diversity, we launched our Business Development Hub web link. That is where business owners can go for those resources that were presented at the Resource Garden and many more. We're prepping for IBE State Day. That is July 15th. We're working with Indiana Black Expo for that event, and we have our list of panelists. They will be joining us from the Indiana Energy Association with all of the opportunities that they have. So please make sure that you are in the room that day. Next slide, please. So our average days to certify, it remains stably below the 90-day requirement. What that means is statutorily we have up to 90 days to render a decision regarding your certification, and that is when we start the file to when we finish. We are running at 28 days for MBEs and WBEs, and then 12 days for Indiana veteran-owned small businesses. There are currently 2,645 certified vendors in our repository. We are partnering with external organizations such as NDOT, the City of Indianapolis, as I mentioned, Indiana Black Expo, as well as the Burmese American community. We hosted an event there at their location just last week. For our compliance updates, we continually proactively audit contracts every month. So if you are a state vendor, a state certified vendor who is on a state of Indiana contract, we are looking at those to make sure that when those prime vendors who were awarded those contracts stated they would utilize you, we are making sure they are doing just that. Just keep in mind, as a vendor on a state of Indiana contract, that we have the final authority in our office. So if a prime vendor comes to you and says they're taking you off without cause and you haven't heard from us, make sure to reach out to us so that we can act as your advocate on that contract. We are attending pre-proposal conferences to raise awareness about the MBE, WBE, and IVOSB utilization. We are also partnering with the procurement department. They will be having an internal event come August, and we will be partnering with their office as well as other state agencies to bring that awareness to. We continue to compile and verify. So for the commissioners, if you wonder how you get this information and make sure that who they are putting on their list, their raw data list of utilization, our office is the one who gathers the information from the state educational institutions. We look at every vendor that they state that they utilize. We compare that to our repository to make sure they are utilizing certified vendors, and they have to be certified during that quarter. If they're not, we push it back and they're removed. And that ends my presentation. Any questions?
Kate had to step upstairs for a meeting. It was an HR meeting, and I guess sometimes being a commissioner has its perks where I can stay here with you fine folks and she can go upstairs. But just a couple of quick comments. Kate has just been a tremendous addition to this team, where she is taking us and where she's guiding us into simplify new efficiencies afforded in the procurement process, trying to shrink down the life cycle of the RFP itself, from scope writing to time on the street to contract negotiations. We're thinking about these things in different life cycles on their own, and looking at injecting the right resources, subject matter expertise, and accountability into each of these, because IDOA often takes a bad rap sometimes for the amount of time it takes for an RFP to be published and then evaluated. The fact of the matter is we have some dependencies on agencies to draft a quality scope evaluate that procurement, and then engage in productive contract negotiations. So looking to control what we can control. But I digress. On this slide, you get a chance to see the prime spend in Q1 of 2025 for our minority, women, and veteran partners. Percentage, two primes, you see 3.79% for our minority community, a little over 10% for our women community, and our veteran community, which we want to see increase exponentially under a percentage. And our work remains and continues. So any questions or comments on this slide? I am at the, I should ask. Okay. We have one addition, one sign up for public comment. That is Arian Edie with IEDC.
Okay. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Again, my name is Erin Eady, and I proudly serve as the Director of the Indiana Procurement Assistance and Certification Training Initiative at the IEDC. We call that INPACT for short, INPACT, and we were formerly the Minority Business Initiative. So as Commissioner Franklin mentioned a couple times, the program that you all heard about earlier is a program of the IEDC's Impact Initiative, and that is the 30-day Certification Accelerator Program. The 30 CAP is an intensive, hands-on, cohort-style program designed to fast-track small business suppliers through first-time IDOA certification and into corporate contract opportunities with Indiana buyers. This no-cost program provides virtual technical assistance, advising, and preparation tools to small businesses, shortening the gap between corporate buyers and competitive certified Hoosier suppliers. The 30 CAP is made possible in partnership with Queen City Women in Business, also now rebranded as Procurifind, one of the nation's fastest growing online supplier development communities, responsible for connecting minority business enterprises to over $2.2 million in contracts with major corporations nationwide. This program consists of 3 phases. Phase 1 is the corporate buyer discovery. Phase 2 is supplier certification and training. And phase 3 is buyer-supplier matchmaking. Nearly 90 corporations here in the state of Indiana representing industries from healthcare to finance were invited to private discovery calls that we hosted on May 21st and May 27th to learn about the 30 CAP, including all of our state education institutions. This discovery process included a buyer questionnaire through which buyers directly identified to our 30 CAP team the target industries of the suppliers which they needed the most, ideal capabilities and capacities of suppliers, and upcoming opportunities for which those suppliers were needed. 5 total corporate partners, which you can see on the flyer, were confirmed for this program. And applications are now open for supplier applicants to apply through tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Up to 50 supplier applicants will be selected for the program, matriculating through a 30-day accelerator to prepare them to successfully submit their IDOA certification application. We are proud to partner also with Deputy Commissioner Rich's certification team as well. Their team is offering us expert guidance to our 30 CAP team to ensure that our certification consultants are well equipped to pre-screen supplier applications for completion prior to their final submission to IDOA. Phase 2, while supplier applicants are awaiting their decision from IDOA, they will go through a series of self-paced contract readiness training modules, ensuring they have the skills to compete in the competitive process for available contracts as a newly certified supplier. And finally, Phase 3 will conclude with a buyer-supplier matchmaking event in August, connecting our 5 corporate buyers with up to the 50 certified contract-ready suppliers for previously identified opportunities. So if there are any folks in the room, small businesses that are interested in getting first-time certified through IDOA and partnered with our corporate buyers, please see me. I won't be here for long, but please see me. I'd be happy to get you the information to submit your application, and I'd be happy to take any questions from the commissioners.
No questions. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Any new business to come before this body? Yes. Keisha.
Thank you. The next commission meeting will be September the 8th, and we will be back in C, so conference room C, where you all are familiar with us normally being. But just FYI, December, we will be back in here. So, but for the next one, September the 8th, we will be in conference room C. Thank you, Commissioner Clifton.
Thank you so much. It's been a great meeting. Learned a lot. Always enjoyed being with my fellow commissioners. And thank you to those in attendance today. Hope you have a great afternoon. We're adjourned.
Thank you.